Right! Welcome back. Apologies for the 2-week absence. I've been very busy with my actual job. I'm a bus driver. Here's a very flattering picture. Yeah, it's not that great. And there's a better one. Today, we'll be covering the events of Kaguya-sama Series 2. Again, not the manga, but the anime series. We have one character on the council to introduce. The rest haven't changed. The character is, well, I'll describe her very badly. She's very to the point, strict. First year, you get the point. It's Mikolino. Anyway, onto the series, and it's not a speedrun this time. It's actually a bit more in depth. So, episode 1 of series 2. Now, before we go any further as well, I've had a haircut. I'm very aware of that. My hair used to be down here, and now it is not. Moving on. So, in episode 1, we start off with Kaguya convincing Ai to switch Miyuki's tea for decaf, subsequently causing him to fall asleep on Kaguya's shoulder. Now, Kaguya, not wanting to have the embarrassment when the others walk in to see this, asks Ai to not let anyone in the council room until he wakes up. Then, Nagisa's boyfriend approaches Yu and Miyuki and asks about romantic advice, not realising these two know about as much as love as I do about flying to the moon. To which you may say, I bet I've known loads about flying to the moon. But in actuality, I know the square root of jack shit. And now on to episode 2. Kaguya and Chika go on a shopping trip with Kia? Miyuki's younger sister, and Moeha, Chika's younger sister. Now, don't forget these two as they become important later on in admittedly separate instances. Ki later on in this series and Moeha in series 3, which I will cover in another video. Miyuki celebrates his birthday, or, well, one person celebrates his birthday, Kaguya, and she makes him a massive cake. Like, absolutely massive. Like, big Chongus style, massive, built like a brick shithouse. But instead of giving it him, he gives him a fan. He gives him a fan? She gives him a fan. Christ on a bike. I'm not doing well today. This is like the 4th take of just this bit. Anyway, Chika is suspicious as to why Kaguya had celebrated it and no one else had, and why she doesn't have any fans. In episode 3, we see the end of term looms. The council goes stargazing, and Kaguya then regrets her choice as her plan falls apart. Why, you ask? Because our main man over there starts talking about the moon. Yeah, he knows more about it than I do. Then they all clean up the student council room before they leave and talk about their summer plans, and Kaguya wants Miyuki to run for re-election in the student council. Episode 4, Kaguya decides the best thing to do is ask her housemaid to make her crush, Miyuki, fall for her instead of Kaguya, which this plan goes about as well as you'd expect, because it nearly works. Later on in the episode, Miyuki wants to ask Kaguya to be his campaign speaker, and the school thinks this is a confession. Miko also tries to recruit Chika to her side of the camp, as Miko is running for Miyuki's job and wants someone in the council to stand her corner. Episode 5. Miyuki decides to not seem like a lonely weeb with a fucked sleeping schedule and has a full night's sleep. Amazingly, Kaguya is very taken back by this and asks Nagisa what the meaning of love is, and goes about as well as you'd expect. Again, not very well. Chika tries to teach Miyuki to sing, and Kaguya tries to get Miko to withdraw from the election, only for it to completely fall apart. Episode 6, Election Day. We see Mikolino's efforts against Miyuki and Kaguya, during which we see Miko realise her efforts are heavily outclassed. She begins her speech and falters under a considerable crowd. Miyuki realises this, steps in and offers to start a debate on their policies. Miyuki wins, and as an offer of truce, it seems he invites Miyuki into the student council. All the meanwhile, Kaguya is scared she wouldn't get re-elected, but Miyuki offers her the position anyway because he's a bit of a simp. Episode 7 sees Yu call men who wear boxers man whores. I guess that includes me. And this makes Kaguya curious to see Miyuki's underwear. Yeah, okay. This goes about as well as you'd expect, and Kaguya tries to apologise to Miyuki by offering him a hand massage. Yeah, we're encroaching on that territory, and it's getting a bit too close for comfort. This is all to try to curve to her ulterior motive and excite more sexy time interest in her from his part. Moving on, then Miyuki, Yu and Chika discover a shoujo magazine. I have not read any shoujo stuff, I don't think. Unless My Dress Up Darling counts as one. We don't know, or I don't know, because I'm a fucking idiot. And they try to encourage Kaguya to do the same. Kaguya reads it, and then the student council room becomes a love-filled shoujo-like bunch of teenagers. After which Miyuki and Yu ask Kaguya to go to the aquarium with them. By this point you may be bored, so I'll refresh your memory by showing a video of a cute anime cat girl completely unrelated to the series. Episode 8 has no relation to the last episode, but begins with a Mikolino rant, claiming, wildly, that the group is toxic. I mean, I can't see why. Anyway, the others in the group then try to teach Miko anger restraining techniques as they practice breaking school rules for some reason. Then, the one episode I originally thought where they'd kiss. Miyuki and Kaguya, that is. They're locked away in the sports storage room, and it's all being set up so well. And then someone opens the door, and Kaguya collapses and wakes up in hospital. God damn it, I thought they'd kiss now. You know, that makes this couple. Anyway, she gets told she's suffering from love sickness because she's a fucking simp. Okay, anyway, onwards. Episode 9 sees Miko and her friend, Kabachi? Name's on the screen somewhere around here. Try to interpret the misunderstandings with Kaguya and Miyuki, only for Miko to be a typical teenager and take it way out of proportion, and almost accuse Kaguya of being a dominatrix. Kaguya is still feeling the effects of the last episode and has to create a form of a relaxation routine where she, in other words, and really shortening the story, places her left hand on her left cheek. This is all that really happens in this episode, with the only thing left being Yu joining the cheer team and has to wear Kaguya's uniform, and he gives Kaguya a run for best girl. I mean, look at him. He is pretty damn close, if I do say so myself. Wait, that makes me a simp. Episode 10 sees Kei, Miyuki's younger sister, wonder if her brother is in love and attempts to coerce him into divulging his escapades without seeming like she's prying. Kaguya and Chika try to teach Miyuki a dance, and we get a lot of backstory with Yu and how he became socially inept, which reveals a former crush of his and him attacking her boyfriend because of some undisclosed reason. I don't think it's disclosed at this point in the series. It is later on. Then Miyuki's dad attends the sports festival where he quarrels Kaguya on her relationship with him. This is then discovered by Miyuki, and he berates his dad for grilling Kaguya about him, seemingly making Miyuki's dad realise he has a crush on Kaguya, and from Kaguya's description that she fancies his lad as well. Episode 11 follows on from the episode previous, episode 10, because 10 becomes 11 when you add 1 to it. Anyway, enough of my quick maths. We're still in the sports festival. Yu discovers his old crushes there and mentions to her that he's been shunned by his peers for attacking her boyfriend when he discovered her boyfriend cheating on her. This leads to Yu's suspension from school, which encourages the student council to launch an investigation. After which, Yu then loses the race he's taking part in, but he is shown vast swathes of support from the cheer squad, and this causes him to open his eyes and feel more welcomed by his peers and people around him. Episode 12, the final episode of this series. Now, I know this video is long, but that is because I wanted to incorporate some more information into this one instead of skimming over it. So, bear with me. This is the last episode. So, as I mentioned 30 seconds previously, because I get my scripts mixed up. Hooray for me. Anyway, the headmaster wants a picture of the student council for a leaflet promoting the school. So he offers to take a picture of them on Kaguya's flip phone, because they still have flip phones in this universe. But before he can, it is blown from the roof and smashes. This obviously deletes all of Kaguya's old pictures of her friends, to which she is heartbroken, as most of us will be when we lose those pictures. So she acquires a smartphone, but is still heartbroken at the fact that she lost her original phone to the wind. The council then decides to make it up to her by adding all of their pictures to a group chat in an app called Line. As far as I'm aware, it's like WhatsApp. So I've been told, similar-ish. This plan of theirs works and Kaguya's mood improves. The final scene in this episode is Kaguya and Miyuki and Yu are all playing a balloon inflating game, but they all cower in their own confidence when it reaches their respective turns. And that brings us to the end of Series 2. Apologies that this video is longer, but I've been thinking on how I want to develop this channel, which may include more videos which perhaps aren't entirely related to anime. However, time will tell. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!